Rachel was an amazing real estate agent. Her listings sold fast, and her clients always recommended her to their friends. The problem was there was never enough time in the day. She was attempting to write a property description, and it would take forever, even though she'd written hundreds before. And ChatGPT wasn't helping either. She knew some listings got more interest than others, but she couldn't figure out exactly why. So every single time she would start from scratch, new angles, new wording, new everything. Second session, Rachel told me about spending 3 hours crafting a description for a cozy family home, completely forgetting that her most successful listing ever was a cozy family home with the exact same style that had gotten 15 showings in 2 days. Rachel told me that she was constantly behind in everything and felt like she was drowning in her to do list. But she thought that's just what real estate was like, that you had to put in crazy hours to succeed. Here's what Rachel didn't realize: having experience isn't the same thing as using experience. And there's a huge difference between knowing something worked and knowing why it worked. Now, not only is Rachel working fewer hours than ever before, her stress has drastically reduced and she's finding herself getting to spend more time in the aspects of the works that she loves. If you're experiencing something similar, I'm here to tell you you do not have to struggle forever. Hey there, I'm Esty Rappaport, and on this episode of the Business Brain Podcast, I'm going to share with you the exact steps of what you can do to have your own transformation. But first, if you ever thought, I know what to do, so why can't I just do it? Optimize Your ADHD Brain is the program for you. It's a 90-day program where we close the frustrating gap between intention and action. Learn more and apply at lifepicksuniversity.com/OYB.
While you are doing any task, you, without even realizing it, are using your 28 thinking skills. When the thinking skills you need to use are strong, doing the task happens easily. Skills you need to use are weak, doing the task becomes a challenge.
Struggle that Rachel had came from a weak thinking skill of projecting virtual relationships. What is projecting virtual relationships in simple English? Simply seeing connections that aren't obvious. Like if I told you Sarah and Mike are cousins, you can't see their relationships just by looking at them standing next to each other. But your brain can understand that they are connected through their families. That's projecting virtual relationships. Or if you see four dots on a paper and they're just dots, but your brain could see how they could make a square even though there are no lines connecting them. That's projecting virtual relationships, seeing connections that aren't obvious. Rachel had a ton of experience. She knew some listings worked better than others. But when she looked at that new cozy family home, her brain wasn't connecting it to the similar family home that got 15 showings in 2 days. To her, they were two separate houses. She didn't see the invisible connection that they would appeal to the same type of buyers for the exact same type of reasons. Rachel had all the information that she needed. She already figured out how to sell this cozy family home successfully, but her brain treated the new house like a completely different puzzle. Instead of seeing, oh, this is basically the same situation that I had 6 months ago. When your brain gets good at the skills, you start seeing connections everywhere. That difficult client conversation that you dealt with last month, you realize how it's connected the sticky situation that you're facing today. The marketing idea that worked for your friend's business, you can see how it connects to what you're trying to do now. Your brain connects dots that other people don't even seem to see. I'm going to share with you how Rachel trained her brain to see the invisible connections. Plus, I'll give you two additional ways that you can start improving the skill of projecting your own virtual relationships. With Rachel, we did what's called metacognition, thinking about thinking. Whenever she had a win, she write down exactly what her thought process was, what action she took, and why it worked. So when this cozy family home was sold just before celebrating, Rachel took out her notes and wrote down, emphasized family memories language, highlighted the big backyard for the kids, mentioned the quiet street for safety, works for families, homes under 500K in suburban neighborhoods, etc. A week or so later, when Rachel had a luxury condo that had multiple offers within first weeks, she did metacognition again, and she wrote in her notes the specific actions she did to make this a successful showing. Metacognition, thinking about thinking, simply became part of her workflow. Now, here are 2 exercises you can do to start building projecting virtual relationships right now. Exercise number 1. You do regularly, writing emails, running meetings, making sales calls. Before you start, mentally run through 2 or 3 different approaches and predict what you think might happen with each approach. For example, if I open this email with a question, they'll probably respond faster. If I lead with a problem, they'll pay more attention to the solution. Make sure to be specific so your brain can make the connection. Exercise number 2. Think about 3 wins from the last 6 months. For each one, do some metacognition. Write down exactly what you did and potential types of situations that it would work for again. Rachel did this and realized her best listings all had one thing in common. She highlighted the emotional benefit and then the practical details. Once she saw the pattern, she could apply it to every new listing. Once again, here, the key is to be specific. If it's vague, your brain has a really hard time making connections. Now, situation is different. I can't just copy what works before. You are right. You can't just copy, but you can adapt. Rachel doesn't use the exact same description for every family home. She uses the proven structure and the emotional triggers and then customize the details. That's the difference between copying, projecting virtual relationships. Experience doesn't automatically make you faster. You have to connect the new situations to patterns that you are seeing. When your brain gets good at seeing connections, you stop reinventing solutions that already exist. To begin improving projecting virtual relationships, you'll want to start doing metacognition, thinking about thinking. What did you do here? How did it help? How can you use this in more areas? When your brain gets better at projecting virtual relationships, you start seeing opportunities and solutions that other people miss entirely. So if you find it challenging in the beginning, keep sticking to it because it will be worth it.
That's all for this episode of the Business Brain Podcast. If you enjoyed it, send it to a friend who secretly wants stronger thinking skills too. So together, you can grow your businesses with peak brain performance.